Hey everyone, I just wanted to bring a quick update on my propagating of my Persian shield plant. My last video, we all did not see any of this new growth that I have now. It's coming beautifully. I have lost some leaves along the bottom. I think just because I've been so busy, it's just been so many things going on. And maybe even overwatering that you may have seen that I've lost some leaves on the bottom. Plus, I also, if they're yellow, I just take them off because they're going to come off anyway. And down here in the base of the pot and soil, you can see that I have, well, this is part of the branch. This is actually a new baby plant that's come through the rocks. And if you can see, this plant, I actually mulch it with its own leaves, and the white speckles that you see is diatomaceous earth. I put that on my plants because I'm growing like hundreds of seedlings, and I also buy a lot of fruits and vegetables from Whole Foods, grocery stores, so on. And a lot of times they come and they bring gnats or whatever, gnats, fruit flies. So this actually helps. So that's why you see this white powdery substance over my plants. And as I said, there's the mulch. And I've also mulched it with rocks. That was basically more for not just aesthetics, but to help me not have to water as much. And I think I it actually works, and I have to learn how to back off on watering, because that's what causes me to have to take some of these leaves off, or they remove themselves. But here it is. Here's the here is the plant that I propagated my new plants off of. The only thing is, I have not had the chance or taken the time to pot the plants yet. But I do want to show you that they are ready to be planted. If you can see, there is the new growth. There's one. This one here, the roots are actually closer to the top. See? Now, if you did watch my last video, you would notice that I had more pots, not more pots. I started them in about 6 of these Cracker Barrel jars, and I've actually switched it down to 3. I put basically like 2 plants in one. But you see, there's healthy roots. They're ready to be potted. This one here is the largest. It's the largest cut that I've taken, and you really don't notice any roots. I'm just going to dry the water for a bit. There's a bit on the side though. There's a growth node that you can see. Might be a bit blurry, but this one will do fine, because as you see, the leaves on the plant, they're still alive, and they're making small baby leaves. So I just wanted to show you the root system on each of these plants. This one has 2 pieces, so I'm going to separate this one. This one is a very small piece. There is a small piece of root on this plant. Sorry if it's blurry. You might not be able to see it, but it's still alive, and this is actually baby leaves on here, so this one will be fine. We want to be careful not to actually discard things, because they're not as lush and promising looking as the others, but this one will be just fine. And here is the last plant piece I have, which has roots, strong healthy roots. They're all ready to be planted. And this one is actually going to have a double branches on it, which is nice. So I just wanted to bring a quick update on propagating Persian shield plants, which can be done just by cutting. What you cut above the growth node. If you cut above this growth node, which this is a growth node here, because you can see where all the growth is happening. So this is your growth node, and you cut above the growth node. As you see where I cut, my last cut was above my growth node, so there was nothing here when I cut it, and there was actually 2 that I cut above the growth node. So now you have a brand new, this actually a brand new piece of the branch, of the stem, and this is where all your lush purple growth is happening. As I said in the last video, the older leaves on a Persian shield, they will turn a purple, like light lilac, silvery color. And this Persian shield, even though the new growth is in great shape, I'm not going to say that the old growth is in great shape. It doesn't have to be repotted, because the roots on the Persian shield, what I've noticed that when I took out the mother plant, because this is a propagation, and I don't know if I mentioned that, but in the last video, I didn't mention that this plant is actually is actually a propagation from my old Persian shield plant. The other one was getting spindly, like you see here. So, and I just really wanted it to go back to how it looked, but I've learned to accept it, so I'm not going to just toss this one, but I'm going to use it to make more cuttings for Persian shield plants. So as you see, you always, as I said, you cut above the growth nodes, and when you do that, that's where you get your new growth at. And that is actually, this is the part, if I was to cut it again, just to propagate new plants, I would cut it right above the growth node here. And this is where, and then your roots would probably come from the second growth nodes and around towards the bottom of that cutting. And then that's actually what you would actually plant to make new Persian shield plants. So I hope this helps, and I'll be looking forward to bringing an update once I get these plants potted into soil, which will be in a few days. So, hope you enjoy. Have a good day.